Alright, so today I'm going to show you guys how to build a Kraken. As you can see right now, I have no glass in there. It's because I've already taken it apart, cleaned it. I wanted to get it nice and clean because I'm doing a full rebuild on it. What I'm going to use today is I'm going to use stainless steel rope. We're going to do a dual wick, dual coil, sleeved with eco wool. I've already torched my eco wool a little bit just because it is a long and drawn out process, but I am going to show how to get the eco wool onto your steel rope. Alright, so what I'm going to do first, I'm going to get this stuff out of the way. Alright, and I've already torched it, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a little Allen key and I'm going to shove through it, and what that's going to do is that's going to open it up a little bit. Alright, let me see if I can do this where you can see what I'm doing. Alright, there. It's nice and wide open. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to trap it. This just makes it a little bit easier to work with. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and torch it one more time. And that's just going to make it a whole lot easier for me to get these frays out of it when I do cut it. And it's going to make it a lot easier to maintain its shape. So when I do put the rope through it, it'll go through with very few problems. One of the issues with stainless steel rope is when you try to put it through the eco wool, you get all these little burrs right up here, and they want to grip onto it. So you got to kind of twist in the opposite direction of the coil of the actual rope. So this is going to be hot, but it's all right to touch right now. So I'm going to move that out of the way for right now. I'm going to get my rope, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start to feed it through. It is going to fray up, and it doesn't take a whole lot. Alright, and that's more than what I'm going to use. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take my trusty little clippers. Alright, and there we go. Got that cut. Now I'm going to slide the lion's mane up to the top. That's what this is actually called, is a lion's mane coil. Lion's mane wick, rather. Alright, and we're just going to do the same to the other one. Oh dear, there it is. Alright. So, let me do it to where you can see it. Just going to feed it right through. Trying to get it to where you can see it. It's hard to do. Alright. And there we go. Just repeat the process of torching it. Alright. And again, all this is going to do is make it more rigid. You know, I've had a couple people ask me, how do you get the stainless steel rope inside the eco wool? I don't understand the concept. Well, I didn't understand it either until I figured out that the actual eco wool itself is hollow. And then it made it a lot easier when I found out that torching it made it rigid. See, I didn't know anything about eco wool for quite a while. I just heard people talking about it. I was like, I don't know about that. Well, it's the only thing I'll run in my Kraken now. It gives off a phenomenal taste, and you can't really beat it, in my opinion. All right, that should be good. All right. we are going to sleeve it through again, and let me do this once more in an extremely difficult way for you guys to be able to see just what I'm doing. It's going to take a little shimmying. As I said, those burrs are going to give you a little bit of a hard time. And there we go. That's more than what I'm going to use. So, we'll cut. And then I'll just push it straight on through. Alright. Now, this is something that I'm going to do. Alright, you don't have to do it. I just find that it works easier when you do it like this. Go ahead and torch it once while it's actually on the rope. And it seems like a whole lot of torching, and it is. And it takes up a fair amount of time. I have not mastered how to do this setup in a quick time. Right. So that's going to be hot. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and put my glass on my tank. There we go. And yeah, that center post is black. It's nasty looking, and it's because I used to run stainless steel rope with mesh wrapped around it in flat ribbon Kanthal, dual coil, dual wick, and that just got way too hot. It mucked up the coils really fast running the ribbon wire, and well, it got too hot, oxidized my center post, and blew out two of my tanks. So I won't be doing that anymore. And now we'll do the second one. Alright. And then we'll be able to actually get on with the real business. It's not necessary to actually torch this a whole lot. Alright. I just do it just to make sure, because working with eco wool, I'm a shaky person as it is. And working with eco wool, it's not uncommon for you to actually be able to take out the braids of the eco wool. So you just want to work slow. You want every move to be intentional. You want it to be deliberate and purposeful. All right. I'm vaping. All right, that should be good. Now, before I seat the wicks, I'm gonna go ahead and take off my Kanthal. And I've got this wrapped really poorly, so bear with me. And normally when I used to work with flat wire, I wouldn't have to torch it. With round wire, I'd normally do torch it. I don't know if I want to right now just because it takes forever, but I think it might be wise. Just to make sure that I don't have any issues. Alright. You want to be careful. It will be hot. Always be careful. I can't stress safety enough. Alright, that's good enough. I'm shaking too much. Alright, I got my coil. I'm going to set this stuff off to the side. I don't need it right now. What I'm going to do, and I have drilled out my wick holes. I'm not going to be running single wick on this, and it had a little bit of threading inside there, so you could put your Allen screws in, run single wick. I'm not going to be doing that. I had issues with my stainless steel rope not wanting to go in there. I was shorting out a lot. And I'm going to keep this. I'm not going to get rid of it. This is mine. I bought it because I really wanted it. So I'm going to make it work best for me. But you can use stainless steel rope inside the Kraken. It shouldn't give you any issues. It just did with me the way I was doing it. Alright. And then you'll do it again. Here, let me get this up to where you can see just what I'm doing. Alright. So, what I'm going to do, this is your typical wrap. Alright. I'm going to trap it over here. I'm going to push this down and start my first wrap. Okay. And then, where's my screwdriver? I'm going to tighten it down. Alright. Pull this out of the way. Make sure that's alright. And then I'm just going to start my wrap, my coil. Wrap around. Grab it, push it down. You want to be careful with the phrase on the top of this eco wool. It will grab your wire, and as you're trying to wrap it, it'll get caught in there. It's not a problem if it does. It's just I like it to be nice and neat. Alright, I hope you guys can see what I'm doing. Alright, and then I'm just going to trap it and go up and around. And I'm going to start my coil again on this side. And then I'm going to tighten down that center pin. Alright, now you're going to push that down, making sure it's nice and set. And this is how I do it. Other people do separate wires. I don't. I do a single set because it just seems to hit better for me. So sorry, my finger's in the way. Alright, and then you're just gonna wrap it. It's coming undone. Alright. And you're gonna do it again. What I'm doing with my finger is I'm just holding that coil so it stays nice and spaced out. And then I'm just wrapping this around. Alright. And try to feed it through. Alright. Just gonna keep my finger there to make sure that it stays in the right spot. And then I'm going to trap it. Make sure this is nice and set. Alright, and then just wiggle away. Same on the other side. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to trim the tops of these so they make me happy. Alright, and there you go. I'm going to go ahead and start spacing out my coils nice and evenly. Right. Alright. And then we're going to do the same to the other side. See, that's a little bit close. Alright. It's hard for you to see what I'm doing. Alright. Now, I'm going to get this portion of my pick and I'm going to stick it in between here. And just spread it out from the center post a little bit. I'm going to do the same on the other side. Alright. Just making sure it's not touching. And go ahead and trim up just a little bit more if I can. Alright. I'll put it on my ohm reader. Home built. And 0.6 ohms. It's around about what I expected. It's around about what I'm trying to get to. I like sub-ohm. I'm running it on a mechanical mod with an MNKE battery. Alright. There it is. It's on the Nemesis clone. And we're going to try to get it glowing. There we go. That seems to be good. I'm going to go ahead and see it's not spaced out enough over here. So, there we go. That is spot on. Let me just take care of that a little bit. And there you go. Add a few drops of juice to it. Y'all are about to hear my dog going nuts because my wife just got home. So, and that's how you do it. You're gonna go ahead and fill it up with juice. And that should do it. I got a little homemade fill plug because I seem to suck out half a tank before I actually get it vaping right unless I have fill plug in it. Alright. So alright, there you go.